Hi guys, it's Miss Horn again, coming to you from Meadowview Elementary. Today we're going to be working on day 3 of lesson 19 on pages 180 and 181 in your iReady instruction book, okay? So we're fixing to get started. Give me just a second to spin the camera back around to my paper. Alright guys, we're first going to start by going over some of our vocabulary that you learned about in the earlier lesson with Mr. Roney, okay? We're going to refresh our memories to estimate, to give an approximate number or answer based on mathematical thinking, okay? An estimate. An estimate, a close guess made by using mathematical thinking. These two are very closely related, guys. But when you make an estimate, it's kind of like when we did science experiments and we make a hypothesis. Okay? What we think based on the information we know. So you're going to been working with making estimates. So using your knowledge that you've learned about inches, centimeters, meters, yards, to make estimates about measurements. So using your mathematical thinking. Okay? So you should have this page right here out in front of you. The 180 and 181. It should look like this in your iReady instruction book, okay? So, it says, ideas about estimating length. So, talk about these questions as a class. Then write your answers. All right, before we start, I want you to look at these in this little box, okay? Centimeters, inches, feet, and meters. Who remembers what measurements go with each other? What ones pair together? Let's think about it. Centimeters. Does anybody remember that that is a metric unit of measurement? And there's a key word right here, meters. Do you think it may go with another term that looks very similar to that? Yep, you're correct. So centimeters and meters go together. And that just leaves inches and feet. And that means that they go together. Centimeters are small and meters are the larger. And inches and feet, okay, they're in the same units of measurement, okay? U.S. standard unit of measurement, we call them. And we call centimeters and meters metric, right? So I just wanted to refresh your mind on those terms and how they work together. Okay, so number 12. Estimate the length of your arm. Use one of these units in the box to make your estimate. Write your estimate. Explain how you made your estimate. Alright, so what I wanted to do is, it says estimate the length of your arm. So pause the video just a second. Look at your arm. From the tips of your finger to your shoulders. And estimate how long you think it is. Okay? Then it says use one of the units in the box to make your estimate. Well, Miss Horn, just personally, I like using the U.S. standard unit of measurement. That's what I'm more familiar with, and probably you too. You hear about inches and feet all the time. Okay, so that's the unit of measurement that I'm going to use. I'm going to use feet. Okay? And most of you remember what this little tool is right here. Alright? This is our ruler. Okay, and this top part here is the inches. Okay? So, one of these rulers, you see all the way to the end, it goes to 12 on the top. 12 inches make up 1 foot. Okay? So again, stop. Hold your arm out. And think about it. If you've got a ruler, look at it and look at your arm. How long do you think your arm is? Now, I didn't say actually measure it. Just estimate based on the information you know. Okay? So, stop and pause the video for a second and say, we're using feet. I know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So, how long do I think my arm is? Okay? Alright. So Miss Horn estimated, I stopped and I looked at my hand all the way up to my shoulder, and I estimated that my arm is 2 feet in length. Okay? So I'm going to write, I estimate my arm is 2 feet. And FT is just the abbreviation for feet. Right? And I use that based on my knowledge of a ruler. So I looked at my ruler saying it's 12 inches. So I said, I think from my hand to my elbow is 1 ruler. And then from my elbow to my shoulder is another ruler. So that's how I got my measurement. Okay? That's where I got that explanation. Okay? Number 13. Analyze. Eric estimates that the length of a crayon is about 4 inches. He measures the crayon and says it has a length of 10 inches. Do you agree? Do you think his estimate or his measurement is wrong, and why? Let's read that one more time. Eric estimates that the length of a crayon is about 4 inches. And remember, that's what it means to estimate, about. You don't know exactly about. Okay, 4 inches. He measures the crayon and says it has a length of 10 inches. Do you think his estimate or his measurement is wrong, and why? Alright? So, if you have one available around, and I happen to, here's a crayon. Okay? Look at that crayon. I do estimate it does look like it's about 4 inches long. How could he have gotten 10 inches? What could he have done when he says he estimated? That means before he measured it, he just looked at it, and based off what he knows about inches, he says 4 inches. And I agree with him there. It does look to be about 4 inches. He measures the crayon and says its length is 10 inches. What could he have done wrong? Well, we're looking at this crayon, and remember, it's been used a little bit. So when we measure it, it may be, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, and you may have the ruler from last week with the other unit that we sent home with you. I'm going to line it up. And we're going to line it up, remember, with the 0. So it is about 4 inches. It's over that halfway mark, so that means it's closer to the 4. So it is about 4 inches. Alright? But what do you think he could have done wrong? Remember from your previous lesson, what do you think he could have done wrong to get the 10 inches? Well, what do you remember? What do we have on both sides of our ruler? We have inches on this side, the wider apart measurement here. And you flip it over. Oh, you see that cm? Centimeters. Do you think he might have accidentally, when he went to measure the crayon, to see if his estimate was correct, you think he might have flipped it around and lined it up on the 0 here? Do you think he could have done that? I think so. And remember, this crayon's been used a little bit, so it probably will go over that halfway mark if it hadn't been used, okay? So, now we know what he did wrong. His estimate was correct. 4 inches. It was close to 4 inches. But his measurement was wrong. And why his measurement was wrong was he used the wrong unit of measurement. He used the wrong side of his ruler when he went to measure it. So, I would write here, I think his estimate is correct. Okay? But his measurement is wrong because he used the wrong unit of measurement. Okay? Right, so let's go down to 14, identify. Which is the best estimate for the length of a seesaw? Mark your answer. Okay, so think about a seesaw. This isn't actually the seesaw, okay? This is just a picture of one, so you'll kind of know what they're talking about. Think of the seesaw when you've gone to the playground out on a park out in town or maybe near your house. That's the seesaw they're talking about, an actual full-size seesaw. All right? So it's asking, let's read the question again. Identify, which is the best estimate for the length of a seesaw? Mark your answer. And it gives you 3 choices here. And I want you to think about all 3. We're going to talk about them. And then it asks you to explain how you made your estimate. Okay? So the first one is 30 inches. Okay? So 30 inches, let me zoom out here so you can see it a little better. Okay? 30 inches is about 3 rulers wide or long, okay? 30 inches is about close to 3 rulers long, okay? So think about an actual real seesaw. Do you really think a real seesaw that 2 people would sit on and push up and down and play on is only 3 rulers long? No, I don't think so. So Miss Horn always likes to get rid of this slash or trash. I don't think so. So I'm just going to mark through that one, okay? So now let's talk about yards. 100 yards, okay? I'm not able to really show you a yardstick, so let me explain to you. 1 yard equals those 3 rulers I was just talking about. So picture 3 rulers end to end to end. That's 1 yard. Okay? So 1 yard is 36 inches. Whoa, it says 100 yards. Now, we agree it's more than 30 inches, but I don't think it's a whole football field long. Wow, we could have a team competition and do seesawing that way if we had a 100-yard long seesaw. So I think 100 yards is a little too big. So I'm going to mark through that one. Okay. Now we're going to switch over into meters, which is the metric system. Yards and inches are both U.S. customary measurements. So now we're going to talk about meters. 4 meters. There's about 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Okay? And then this thing that we talk about in class all the time, process of elimination. If we eliminated 30 inches and 100 yards, and the only answer that's left is 4 meters, I think it's a pretty good choice to say that process of elimination, slash to trash, this is what we got left. This would be the correct answer. And we explained how we made that estimate, okay? Because 30 inches is too short. And 100 yards, a football field, is too large. So that leaves us with our 4 meters. Because neither 30 inches nor 100 yards would be a good unit to use to measure the seesaw. All right, guys, it's been wonderful talking with you guys today and doing this lesson with you. I hope to see you guys soon. Now remember, follow up this page in your iReady workbook, the one with the little monsters with the horn on it, on pages 201 and 202 to go along with this lesson. I hope y'all have a wonderful day and talk to you soon.